was never really good playing role of the puppet. Too busy being me, to be concerned with perception of the public. Everyone is buzzing, but everybody ain't thinking about a budget. I want ownership in something. Niggas get they...
Marlon Wayans responds to Katt Williams' recent comments on Club Shay Shay podcast with Shannon Sharpe. Marlon Wayans stopped by Big Boy Radio to explain. Wayans explained, "I'm tired of, oh, you sold out in Hollywood because you wore a dress," Wayans said. "Negro, I wore a dress, it's called White Chicks." You know what we did? We did a classic referring to Katt Williams' comments about male comedians wearing dresses. Oh, so white people when they wear dresses. When Robin Williams wears a dress in Mrs. Doubtfire, he's brilliant. When Tom Hanks wears a dress in Bosom Buddies, oh, he's brilliant, right? When Dustin Hoffman wears a dress in Tootsie, he wins an Oscar. Marlon Wayans doubles down on his stance regarding comedians wearing dresses and says, "You don't see any other race of people tearing people down the way black people do. I'm tired of the rhetoric of, oh, you sold out in Hollywood because you wore a dress." Wayans said around the 30-minute mark of the video above. "Negro, I wore a dress, it's called White Chicks. You know what we did? We did a classic. I feel like when you create a character in a film, play, or any piece of media, you should have the comedic license to go as far as you'd like. Whether it is a man, woman, or child, just be as funny as you. It's really just a costume."
Your name came up when recently when Katt Williams did his interview with Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about just that conversation. Period. What has that conversation done for black comedy?
Comedy, I don't think anything, because there wasn't no jokes in it. You understand? I'm in the joke telling business. You know what I mean? So it didn't do anything, I think, for comedy. Personally speaking, me and him was cool. So, you know, I didn't know where that came from. Certain thing he said about me, half was true, half was to each his own. I don't even get into that part of it, because see, I'm a type of person, if I have a problem with you, Charlamagne, I'm gonna call you, and man to man, and we either gonna talk it out, we're gonna duke it out, but we're gonna handle it man to man. I don't talk behind people back, and that's what social media is. If you go into a platform and talk about a person without you addressing them yourself, when you have opportunities to get in contact with them, let it be known. So
the reason I asked about what it did for black comedy, because I started seeing people having conversations about black comedy and black comedians that I don't think they were having before.
Such as?
Yourself or the Samores. Like, it was just the whole Def Comedy Jam era. It's like a whole great era of comedy, BET, Comic View, all of that stuff we grew up on.
Right.
I kind of feel like people had kind of not been discussing. But for whatever reason, that interview made everybody start pulling up old clips and having the conversations again.
But it didn't move the needle to help us progress as black comedians in the profession.
He definitely said you was funny, though. He said you was funny. He said nobody can say Earthquake not funny. He definitely said that.
Yes.
People are saying he did that to sell tickets. Some people said he was just venting, or some people it was just a lie just to create the controversy around it. And you know him, what it's just weird. It just feel like it just came out of nowhere.
Well, I don't know what is the motivation on it. We as comedians have never did that type of thing ever before. We're in a new age now. Right. You know what I mean? It's a different age. When I first ran into Katt, he was the most phenomenal doing things that never been done in here. I've always admired, you know, his work. I'm into the joke, so if you have anything to say to me or anything to say to me, it should be right there in that category, because that's the only thing that I am involved in the public platform of it. So the rest of that shit he can keep.
Why do you say you can't read? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I mean, y'all into terrestrial radio. First of all, it's a lie, because I
did radio for years.
I did radio, and everybody in radio wants to be like y'all and be syndicated. But if you're not syndicated and you just got one goddamn station, only way you get some money off live reads.
Well, listen, you know you got to prove things to the internet, so go ahead and read that real quick.
Read that. It's a live read. Read it out loud.
Katt Williams is a liar.
That man can read. They ain't play too much of it.
I know when I'm fucking with y'all.
It's live read. They play too much of it.
I'm not going to tear nobody down to build somebody up, and people got to get back into, you know, the positivity of building people up. You don't see any other race of people tearing people down the way black people do.
Right.
We are our own worst enemies, and we have to stop that. I'm never going to support.
But you know what, Marlon? We're looking at 50 million probably now, I'm pretty sure, in county, right? And, of course, all the clips from Katt Williams were Katt goes at Steve, Katt goes at Said. And those things, man.
He's not wrong for venting
right.
what he's venting, because that's that man's experience.
Right. And
so I can't strip him of
and
that.
That's what I can't sit and, you know, I know everybody, too. So I didn't trip off of it. But I tripped off of how that was the things that went up. Now, I literally haven't watched anything that long ever, but the negativity is what got it to 50 million.
10 Commandments,
But
baby.
when you watch it, people didn't bring up, oh, he paid for Melba Moore's star.
Right.
They didn't bring up, oh, you know, he's a father, foster father to 7 kids.
Right.
You know, when comedians are on stage, he'll send one of his ladies up to give them $1,000 to a comedian.
He paid for his own specials, that he found his own way. Those are the things that the audience needs to extract. We keep extracting what is negative.
Man.
How do we live in a positive way when all we do is digest what is negative about the life? People aren't methylating their life experience the right way. I'm here to get the best nutrients out of life and out of the experience. And I mean, and that's what we need to celebrate more. I'm tired of the rhetoric of, oh, you sell out in Hollywood because you wore a dress. Negro, I wore a dress. It's called White Chicks. You know what we did? We did a classic. Only black people sit there and go, man, our brothers wearing dresses. Oh, so white people, when they wear dresses, when Robin Williams wears a dress in Mrs. Doubtfire, he's brilliant. When Tom Hanks wears a dress in Bosom Buddies, oh, he's brilliant, right? Mm-hmm. When Dustin Hoffman wears a dress in Tootsie, he wins an Oscar. Black people, as soon as we put on a dress, we start tearing each other down. This is art and this is comedy. You think I'm gonna tear down Flip Wilson? You think I'm gonna tear down Tyler Perry? I'm not gonna tear down any of these brothers. It's comedy. And we should embrace our comedy, all of it. We shouldn't have one type of humor. We should embrace all of our humor. Every shade of black that is black and is beautiful. Minorities need to stick together and come together and really celebrate us. We have been taught to drag each other down. It's toxic. It is so toxic. I'm just not gonna be a part of that. I'm gonna celebrate.